Your day been today?
Been good. Just had practice and had some food and overall so good. And have some exams tonight. Other than that, pretty chill.
What are you studying?
Right now my major is personal finance.
Nice. I'm a finance major, so that's awesome.
Perfect. Love that.
I watched your interview like a couple years ago with Only the Greatest, and
hmm
I saw that you said your nickname was Taco. Can you get into where that came from and also Henny? Where did Taco come from?
Yeah, that was my nickname freshman year of high school.
Mm.
Um, just kind of going back to just like out of my Mexican heritage and just a few of the boys threw that out there. And I mean, I have no problem with it at all. And it stuck with me and I loved it actually. So
Do people still call you Taco?
no, not anymore. It's just Henson Henny. So pretty basic.
Gotcha. You got to bring that back. It's a cool nickname.
Oh yeah.
Best player in the NHL under 23.
Right now, I like, I like Lane's game a lot. He's producing really well. And I think overall, I think Celebrini. I
Mhm.
think so. I think just that two-way game so far, he's been really good for the Sharks. I mean, him and Bedard are kind of the big names there. And I
Yeah.
think so. Celebrini's kind of excelled and exceeded expectations. So it's kind of cool to see him do that.
Can you rank the top five best defensemen in the NHL right now?
Yeah, I think number one is Kale McCarr. And I think at two, I mean, after watching the Four Nations, I think Slavin's up there for sure. And definitely for number three, I like Quinn Hughes. And then number four, I'm trying to think of a nice two-way guy that to put up there. Brock Faber. I think honestly Brock Faber could be two right now. Just the way he's playing. And five for me. I'm trying to think. I really like McAvoy's game a lot. So those are probably my top guys. Actually, no, I think
You,
Hedman at
oh,
four. Hedman at four,
okay.
and McAvoy at five.
If you could take one thing from their games and put it into your game, what would it be? And out of any of those guys, any of the five.
I think a big thing I've been working on is just simplicity. So I'd probably take Hedman's just super simple, efficient game. I think that's just he gets the job done and it's just very simple and efficient and doesn't really overcomplicate things.
We watched film of you from 3 years ago and compared it to today. What would be the biggest difference?
Yeah, I think just my ability to move the puck north and kind of use my skating to join that rush and push the play. I think that's really grown. And also just the defensive part of using my frame and my skating to kind of angle and close out plays. But I've still been working on that a lot. So definitely room to grow on that. But overall, just the two-way game.
It's one area of your game that no one talks about, but you take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, I think my breakouts are probably a really like efficient part of my game that I think I've got dialed down pretty good and definitely can translate to the NHL level.
Who was the toughest opponent you've ever faced? What did you learn from the matchup?
So far, I think it's been Snuggerud. Just the ability,
Yeah.
he's got a little mean to his game. He can absolutely rip the puck, and I think kind of just the thing I can take from that is just like having that little more tenacity, a little more mean, kind of being around the puck and just being a little more physical. So that was cool to see.
In Minnesota, what did you think of Oliver Moore's speed and Sam Renzel when you played against them? If that's what you were talking to, or referring to this year or last.
Yeah, I think the Oliver Morse speed is just
Mm.
super explosive. So it's kind of hard to get a gauge on it, but you got to get your feet moving. So it's special for sure. And then Rinzel is just a very smooth skating guy and you can kind of make plays happen from nothing. So that was cool to see.
I guess 2 years ago now, you compared yourself to Luke Hughes, I think Sanderson, and Cale Makar. Would you still say that that is your comparisons, or would you want to change that up?
I think the main one is Sanderson, just the two-way
Hmm.
game, kind of try to base off and just how simple he is with pucks. He's not too flashy and he kind of is he gets the job done in and out every night and he's a very reliable guy for the Senators and it's special to watch him for sure.
What's your approach to improving your weaknesses? Do you obsess over them, or do you double down on your strengths?
For the weaknesses part, I'm big on film, so I kind of like just watching and digesting it and just kind of learning from it. And I think that's a big thing I've learned, just learning from it instead of taking it to heart. So I think it's improved a lot in my game and definitely room to grow for sure.
Thing you look for when you watch film?
Yeah, it's just definitely the little things I think can really make a big difference. Is not forcing too many plays, having a really good stick, and just positioning overall can really just benefit my game and kind of help me grow as a player.
What's the most underrated skill that separates good players from great players?
I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is just a good stick, like a forward with a good stick, super hard to get around, and a defenseman with a good stick, super hard to make plays around. So I think a good stick can really translate to any level, and it's very important to have.
Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Yeah, I think the best one I received was my U17 year is just kind of just short-term memory. It's a big part in hockey, just not obsessing over those mistakes because that can really kill your game and just kind of living it, learning it, and forgetting it. So just moving on to the next play.
When you won gold, the U17. Can you take me through about that experience and what it felt like to win gold and playing in that tournament?
At the World Hockey Challenge, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it was special. It was kind of our first big tournament as a team, and I think we really grew close that tournament. And it was kind of set the standpoint for the next 2 years, and it was super special to win that. And we went in there and dominated, and that was our goal. And wearing that gold felt really good. So,
Still put it on, like
oh
in the
yeah,
mirror and stuff. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
cool feeling.
yeah.
What's a question you wish interviews would ask you, but they never do?
Hmm. I think the question I would want to be asked, I don't really get asked. Think here. They ask you a lot of questions. I think the biggest one for me is just like I think the most important one I take from it is like, what can you improve in your game? Because there's always things you can improve, and it kind of makes you think about your game. And I really like that's probably the biggest question I like. And overall, they're pretty good about asking questions.
Do you think is the most, or what do you think the best answer for that is for you? I know we got
Yeah,
into it a little bit, but
I think just the defensive piece and
mhm.
kind of just using my frame and skating to close those plays and kind of just not let that person beat me back to the net and just those little things. And then also just yeah, just that pretty much is just the big things for me.
What's your favorite part about hockey?
I think my favorite part is just the connections you make. I mean, you get really close to these guys, and then it's super special when you make those connections and bonds and you're winning games. It really is, it's second to none. So it's special for sure.
What was the best game that you've ever won?
I mean, I have to go back to the World Junior gold
Yeah.
medal. That was probably the most special thing ever. I mean, in Canada too, you're hated against everyone. So that was really special, and I'll never forget that for sure.
Who's the best teammate you've ever had? Like skill wise or personal?
I think Hagen's for sure. I mean, me and him were
Yeah.
really last year. We golfed a bunch, and we still talk now. And we got to kind of link up back at the World Juniors, so that was really fun and kind of good to see him again. And overall, he's an exceptional player.
He's incredible. Take me through your off-season routine and who you train with.
Yeah, off season. Last summer I was here at Wisconsin. We have a 8 week program here, and we work out 5 times a week. We skate 3 times a week, so it's pretty regimented and it's a lot of fun here. I mean, we have a great campus, so overall have a lot of fun.
Wisconsin's a beautiful campus. How do you handle the noise and the pressure from all the rankings and mock drafts and social media?
Yeah, I think I was lucky enough to go to last year's draft, and it was just kind of cool to see like really anything can happen. Just like you really can't get your mind too set on a certain spot because a team has wants and needs, and if you don't feel that want and need, then they might not pick you. So you really can't get too set on it. And it's just kind of, I mean, taking it day by day, like I said. But overall, it's exciting stuff for sure.
Hmm. You envisioned your first NHL game?
I've had some dreams for sure. I mean, it's kind of a childhood dream for me, just kind of playing in NHL. It's a goal of mine. So it's yeah, I've definitely envisioned it.
If you win the Stanley Cup, what would you do with the Stanley Cup? What would your day be?
I think my day would be I'd definitely bring it back to where my hometown. I'm a big homebody, so definitely
Mhm.
have family friends there, and probably take it back to the youth rink I played growing up, and just kind of having the community around it would be super special, and it'd be awesome. So that's probably my day with the cup.
You-
Probably go golfing with it too. So we'll see.
What was that?
I go golfing with it too.
Oh,
So
they
yeah.
put the golf balls in there.
Oh
Pretty
yeah.
cool. That's so cool. It's the best trophy in sports. How
100%.
what's okay, how do you personally define clutch?
Clutch. I think it's someone that can go out and perform under pressure and not getting like too high or too low, kind of keeping that even keel and producing when the time is needed. And I think that's how I define clutch.
This is a Kobe Bryant question, but do you love winning or hate losing more?
I hate losing.
Hmm.
I hate losing. I think just losing sticks with me longer. I think winning is just kind of you win and it's for sure important, but you kind of got to move on to the next game. And I think losing you can learn a lot too from it.
When people talk about your game, what do you hope they say?
Yeah, I think just two-way defenseman that can play a complete game and is an offensive threat as well.
If you had complete control over your career, what would your ideal first 5 years in the league look like?
Yeah. Um, Definitely get drafted and then play top 4 minutes and then play that two-way role and kind of eat minutes for the team and then hopefully do my part to kind of get that team to the playoffs and hopefully in that fifth year try to win a Stanley Cup for sure is my goal.
The end of your career, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, I think I just want to be remembered as just definitely just that reliable guy. Just kind of like everyone knows he's out there, like not too flashy, but he's definitely just he produces, he gets the job done, and will have a little snarl to his game, so a little mean too. So that's definitely how I'm remembered.
What's a part of your game that no stat sheet can measure?
Yeah, I think my skating for sure. I think the
Mhm.
skating's I'm very gifted with that and blessed with it. So I think that's a big part of my game. That's you really can't measure the stat.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done to try to get better?
Um, I think the craziest thing I've done. I mean, growing up, like when I was young, I would probably shoot. I would shoot a ton of pucks. Like I think that's the craziest thing. I'd shoot till like my hands would hurt growing up when I was younger. So then that was the biggest one. I'd be out like in 100-degree weather in the driveway shooting in my rollerblades. So I think definitely that was pretty crazy growing up.
Do you see the scouting reports that teams have on you? What do you think they would say?
Yeah, I think they would say just smooth skating defenseman that can move the puck very well, push the pace north, and have smooth breakouts, and as well can play has a good stick in the defensive zone, and overall plays a complete game. I think that's what it would say.
Pro number going to be 16 if you had if that would be your wish?
Yeah, I think that'd probably be my most ideal pick because growing up, that's always my favorite number, kind of my lucky number, I like to say. So definitely my first option if I get the chance.
What was your I know that your favorite NHL team was the Wild, but do you remember your first hockey jersey you won?
I remember growing up, I had a Brett Burns Wild jersey.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so that's probably the first one, and it's pretty cool.
If you could take a time machine back and play for one original six team, which one would you choose?
Boston,
Okay. Hawks
sure.
was the right answer there, but no. What's the weirdest superstition of or pregame ritual you've seen from a teammate?
Hmm, I don't. I wouldn't say it's too weird, but Gavin Morris, he gets to the rink like 3 hours early. Like he gets
Nice.
here really early compared to everyone else. So I think that's probably the most interesting one I've ever seen.
If you weren't playing hockey, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Yeah, right now I think I'd be still at my senior year of high school and at Hill Murray hanging out with my buddies and hopefully trying to get into a good school. I probably attend either U of M or UW and hopefully the grades are good enough to get in.
If you're building the perfect defenseman using different attributes from past or present players, whose skating, shot, hockey IQ, and physicality would you choose?
Okay. Well, skating, I think so far, Kill McCarr. Shot, Shea Weber. Physicality, I probably go with I like Cronwall for physicality. As it so skating, shot, physicality. What? Sorry, again. Say it again.
Hockey IQ. Sorry.
Hockey IQ. Either that's tough. I think I would go. with between McAvoy and Fox. I think I'm gonna go McAvoy.
You could describe yourself in 3 words, what would it be?
Chill, kind, friendly, just pretty basic answers there.
If you can describe where the defenseman is going in the NHL for the modern day, what would you say? And what would the
Yeah,
role be?
yeah, I think a modern day defenseman. I mean, it's a big two way. I mean, teams are looking for a guy that can play both ends of the ice for them.